Hey y'all, and welcome to SkyUI Scripting. We are continuing our series of learning how to make SkyUI MCMs, or Mod Configuration Menus, and in this episode, we're going to focus on key maps, how to let your users use your Mod Configuration Menu to configure their own shortcuts. So this should be fun. I was going to do like drop downs or something, but this seemed more challenging, and I'm really excited about this episode. It's special to me because I'm not drinking tea. I'm drinking my favorite drink, chew wine. It's probably backwards for you. It's my favorite drink. If you know what it is, you're my favorite person, feel free to post down in the comments. It's from where I grew up. And I'm going to love it and enjoy it while we do key maps. Let's do this thing. All right, I could be big, but I will be small. I'm small. All right, so we're going to look at the documentation for option types, but first let's make sure we're up and running with our cool mod. If you don't have a cool mod, then go back to the first episode in this playlist where we set up our cool mod. You basically need to make sure that you have an MCM menu set up and you can compile it and make changes to it. And once you've got that, you're pretty much ready for this episode, although you should probably watch the introduction to option types first. So I've got Creation Kit open. I already opened it for Cool Mod. And if we go to our Cool Mod quest, Cool Mod, we've got our script here that we did stuff with last time. I don't remember what we did. Oh, I showed how to make logos. That was fun. And how to choose a random logo. That was sweet. So I'm going to switch over to the code, the Visual Studio code. Cool, and now I've got the same code as this. You can edit everything if you want in this little box, and you can Ctrl S to save and compile whenever you want to. I, however, as I always do, am going to do this work in Visual Studio Code, but you can work in that little edit source box. So where are we going to get started? First of all, let's get rid of all this stuff. And we're just going to have basically an empty on config init and page reset. That's what we want. And in page reset, we're gonna make a key map option. Cool. Let's just make one page and we'll call it settings or whatever. We don't even need a page because we're gonna render this stuff on the home page. So let's head on over to the SkyUI SDK documentation, which, as a reminder, you can just look for SkyUI SDK. It'll bring you to the Google, and make sure you go to the wiki, and then there is a option reference over here for the option types. We're just going to do what they tell us to do. And I will show you how to make the key map binding do something. So actually we want to look at the different key codes because we're going to record a key code. Now if I do input and we go to the input script, here's a list of all the DX scan codes. So if you search creationkit.com for input script, you can find all of the DX scan codes. And so this is the code that we're going to get. Let's do something where we might want to give the option to have the user specify like that they have Alt or Shift or Control held down too. I think that's kind of part of this episode, is making sure that you can do those. But first, let's add a key map option. This should be fun. So in here, let's just do, we're going to do a integer OID for, we could make these stateful if you want, but let's not. OID for the key map option, whatever. And we'll say OID key map option, like we've done in the past, equals add key map option, not the stateful one, but feel free to use the stateful one. Just use what we learned last time to make it stateful. And you give it the text for the key map, so this will be a cast spell key. We'll add a spell that you can cast or something. Cast healing key. We'll make it, called flames. We'll make it throw flames at whoever's in the crosshairs. How about that? That'll be cool. Int key code is the default value. So we need, so this will be the options, and then this will be the key map value. We'll say int cast spell. We probably want this to be a property, but we'll make it a property when we want to. Cast spell key code equals, let's make it, I don't know, flames. Control F. How about that? So F is on the second row, so it's down here, 33. And we'll do bool require control key equals true. Bool require shift key equals false. That's the default. Bool require alt key equals false. So we'll make it control F by default. How does that sound? So we will say int key code, what do we call this thing? Cast spell key code. Sweet. We could see that show up if we want to. Sure, I'll show you in Skyrim. Ooh, there's thunder. Alright, we're in Skyrim, and there's my axe. And escape, system, mod configuration, cool mod. And here's our little chooser, and it says F by default. We'll put some little toggles below it for control, shift, and alt. And it'll let us choose a key, and I can just say P or whatever. And we can have an event that will get that key, but right now we're not doing any of that. So we're going to need to learn to do that ourselves. So we need an event for capturing the key code. So for that, we want on option key map change. We could do highlight as well. I generally have never found default to be useful. The SkyUI people can tell me when that's useful. So we get the option ID. We've been doing that. We get the key code. There's a conflict control and conflict name. Let's see what that's all about. So what we'll just do is we will debug message box. Let's do the OID and space and the key code and space and conflict control and colon and conflict name. Let's see what SkyUI gives us. Presumably that's for if we hit if we choose W or we choose F or whatever I. So let's see what it does. So here we go, and we click on it. Let's do something like W for moving, and it says the conflict control gives us this string called forward. I'm surprised it's not conflict name. That's strange. Conflict name gives us nothing. Maybe the documentation is backwards for those. Let's try like I, quick inventory, J, journal. Let's try P, quick magic. Let's try M, quick map, N, nothing. So we're good with that. F, toggle point of view, which is the one that we want. So that's really useful. Obviously they built that in because that's super useful, and you would probably want to make a message in Skyrim in Creation Kit to give them an option to choose, are they sure they want to override it? Can you even override it? I'm sure there's a way to override it and remap the other one. I don't know if you need an SKSE plugin for it, but anyway, that's what we get. Let's add little thingies for Control Shift Alt, shall we? This would be really nice with states because this is such a simple thing that we're doing. Now, if you watch the Pages and Layouts episode, you know how to set this up. You can look at the event for on select, and you can put the same code for on option select in here, and have it loop through and pick a different page or whatever like that. So you can use the IDs, but I'm going to bail on the IDs and let's use the states. And we'll call this key map option or keyboard shortcut event or state keyboard shortcut end state, and then it's probably on key map change st. It's probably that. Yeah, it totally is. Cool. Does that need to be a function? It should be cool. Parameter types of do not match. You won't get an OID in that case. Cool. And that's actually really nice because it makes it so easy to do the on highlight. I love states. I love states. They just don't work super well for multiple pages. Set info text. Keyboard shortcut for casting flames. Sure, whatever. But then we'll add these 3 toggles. Add toggle option st, and we'll call it alt key toggle. And set it to just alt. Change alt to control. Let's do control alt shift. Okay, I think those are all right. And so now we want these little guys down here. We want a state. Control key toggle end state. In there, we'll copy and paste these on highlight st end event set info text require control key, and we'll do an event on select st. We'll put something in there. Here, we'll do it right now. We'll say require control key equals require control key reversed, and we'll set toggle value to whatever require control key is. We've done this before. And we'll just copy and paste this for these other 2. And I'm just going to quickly say control alt you can do whatever. You can change these manually. I'm just lazy. Shift. Cool. Does that make sense? Now if we go into Skyrim, we should see a couple of options. So let's ignore the conflicts. We know we could do something with that. Cool, we looked at it, but we'll just set the, what's it called? We called it cast spell code. So cast key code. We'll set it equal to whatever the key code is. Cool, whatever. And now, what's interesting is because this is a quest, we should actually be able to, from on config init, start listening to a keyboard shortcut. It's weird to do this from an MCM. I wouldn't do this from an MCM. What I would do is I would make another quest script that just extends quest, or a player script or something. And player script is really nice because then on load game, you can make sure on load games you start listening. I think you should know how to do that from beginner basics. So let's just try and make this work right here, and then if we have time, I'll show you how to make sure that this works with when you load up a new game. So what I'm just going to do now is, whenever they do this, I'm going to get whatever the previous key code was, and I'm going to unregister for key. Oh, I don't have SKSE included, apparently. Unregistered for key. Cast spell key code. Update it, and then say register for key. Cast spell key code. Makes sense? I'm updating it. I'm unregistering for whatever we were listening to before, and at the beginning I'll go ahead and register for key, and I'll say cast spell key code. And we need a on key down, I think. Int key code. Is it key down, yo? On key up, on key down. Yeah. I love you, VS Code. We have some cheerwine. And we'll have it cast a spell. Let's just get the ID for flames. I'm lazy. Let's do SSE edit. Load up just Skyrim. Actually, no, it's one of the top 2 spells because I've done this so much in tutorials. So we go to spells, and it's like right at the top. Flames. It's 12 FCD. Let's say spell flames equals game get form as spell, and it's OX 12 FCD. 12 FCD. Cool. Thank you, SSE edit. We love you. And then let's get the actor that's in the crosshairs. Crosshair target equals game get current crosshair ref as actor. If there's an actor in crosshairs, then we'll whoops, cast flames from the player with the target being the crosshair target. And I don't know if you'll be able to visually see it. I don't know if an animation plays. I think it just casts at them. We'll find out. I don't know. Else, we'll just do a debug notification, and we'll say no target in crosshair. No crosshairs. Crosshair. Now there's one thing that we should really do. There's 2 things. One, just conventionally, people say if keycode equals the keycode that you're looking for. It should only be the keycode that you're looking for, because that's what you registered for. People usually check if they're registered for multiple, but whatever. And then also, super duper duper important, there's UI. Is menu open? There's a better one. Input dot UI dot is text input enabled. I think that's it. Let me look at that one real quick. We want to make sure that the person isn't currently just entering text and accidentally hits F because they type foo. So we do input script. And we're looking for is text. Is key press? No, we want it's on UI, might be. Turns if scale form is in input mode. Is text input enabled? Do they have better? It doesn't have a wiki page. But I've definitely seen folks say if you're not currently entering text, or if you are entering text, just return. It's called a short circuit. You could bail. And you could also bail this way. You could say if the key code isn't the one you expect, just bail, and then you can do these things. See if it compiles. Cool. Guess let's try it. Oh, the dog is dreaming. Do you hear that? I guess she's done. I think she was like running. Oh. Oh. All right, let's go to Skyrim. And I'm not even going to go to Skyrim yet because remember last time we clicked and it didn't change what the key is. So when they press the key code, we're setting our variable, but we need to set key map option to the code. Now that should compile, and let's go see it in Skyrim. Where do you want to go? Where should we? You know, whenever we go to the Bee and the Barb, there's always that guy who's like preaching at everyone. He always annoys me because I'm trying to COC to the Bee and the Barb just to do tutorials. Let's try that guy. Let's COC, Riften, Bee, and Barb. This guy's like gonna not shut up. People of Riften, heed blah, blah, blah. Heed my words. Blah, 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 blah. See if this works. Ooh, we didn't do this Control-Shift thing. It's pretty easy. We'll do it, we'll do it, we'll do it, we'll do it, we'll do it. We'll actually use more short circuits because it's a good way to do this, I feel like. I don't think Papyrus has semicolons, but it'd be really nice to be able to shorten these. So let's just say if the control key is required and not is it UI or input is key pressed? Is key pressed. So we need the control keys. We need the Shift, Alt, so we can see if they're pressed. Control, left control. We could do both left and right, but let's just do left. And we're just showing a demo. You could do both of them and add this. I mean, sure, whatever. Left control key code and right control key code equals 0. L shift key code. Let me populate these. Okay, I grabbed all the modifier keys. Cool, and I just put them under like modifier keys. Okay, so if you require the control key and what was it? I just had it. I don't know why it's angry about this stuff. Because we need an end if, and then it will start completing again. There we go. If it requires it, and the left control isn't pressed, and also the right control is also not pressed, then we're going to bail. Because this isn't the case. So if you're entering some text, peace out, we don't care. If it's the wrong key code, peace out, we don't care. If it's the right key code, but we require control and you're not pressing control, we peace out. And then we just do the same thing with to do Alt or whatever. What order do we do them in? Up the top. Control Alt, Control Shift. Cool. Then we peace out, and then we know we've got our modifiers covered down here. And we actually made this code work for the modifiers, so this should work and we should be able to test it. Head on over. I was saying, head on over into Skyrim. I paused too soon. But let's just, let's go there together. Riften and Barb. Let's see if we can flame this guy.
People of Riften,
first it's Shift F by default.
The return of the dragons is not mere coincidence. This is one of the signs that Lady Mara is displeased with.
It's not working because of the it's maybe just taken over by toggle or whatever. Or maybe we're not listening to it properly. Oh, it's control. I was trying to
Inebriation.
Oh. Cool, that worked. That's pretty dope. Go to the main menu. Come back into the game. Let's go to Riverwood, where we're not in some building. But I flamed that guy, which is good, because he's kind of annoying. It'll say there's no target if we just try this. And annoyingly, because it's control, it'll crouch. And shift is not what we're using. So we're not overriding the default thingies. So that's kind of annoying. Let's try, I don't know, Alt B. Cool. And we need to capitalize that Alt. It's annoying me. We did. Okay, sometimes the freaking, cause case sensitivity, that's annoying. So we'll try Alt B. No target and crosshair. Cool. Yeah, I can do the cheek on you and do the beard. See what it looks like.
What? What is it now, Mother?
No target and crosshair. It's coming from his mouth. That's fucking dope. That's insane. Let's do it again. Oh, he ran out of magic there or whatever.
I can take you.
Okay, this should kill me in a second. Cool. We're about to hit 30 minutes, so I'm kind of ready to call it so that we're right below 30 minutes. That was pretty cool, right? We let users control a thing with keyboard shortcuts. We even set up modifier keys, which I highly, highly recommend, because if you just have someone type B, they may have bound it to something else. Like, I think every time you have a keyboard shortcut that you're binding something to, do what we did. Support the modifier keys and support both sides of the keyboard, because people may have a preference. And I think that's it. I'm gonna peace out. All right. Happy mining, everyone. Thank you. Happy mining.